Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope all of you are fit and fine at home. Are you ready for social science class? Yes, but it's a riddle time first. Yes, so I will ask you a question. You have to think and then you have to give the answer. So the question for the riddle is, what has words but never speaks? What is that thing which has words but never speaks? Think. What is the answer? Tell me fast. Yes, should I tell you? The answer is a book. A book has a word, but it does not speak. Yes, so a big star for me. Yes, so now it's a study time for all of us. Today you have to bring your geography book. Yes, in social science we will study geography subject. So bring your geography book, notebook and one rough notebook with you, so that whatever queries you will have, you can just write down in the notebook, and then in the online session you can ask the queries. Yes, so let's start with our social science class. And in social science today we will study subject geography. Yes, but before going to the chapter we should know what does geography means. Does anyone knows? Yes, so now let's study that what geography means first. Geography is a word which comes from a Greek word that means the earth description. So geo means earth and graphy means study. So study of earth is all about geography subject. The science of studying the earth as a home for human beings. It is all about geography. So in geography we study about the earth and we study about the earth as a home for human beings. So in geography we will today start with chapter number 1. And what is the name of the chapter? The name of the chapter is the earth in the solar system. So what is the name of chapter number 1 of geography subject? The earth in the solar system. Okay, so now let's start with chapter number 1, the earth in the solar system. Okay, so there is an activity for all of you. You have to do this activity. I am just telling you the steps. You have to do this at your home and then you watch how it looks like. Okay, so just try this activity at your home. You will need one torch, one sheet of plain paper, pencil and a needle. So what do you require, students? You require a torch, a sheet of plain paper, pencil and a needle. These all things are available at your home right now also. So you can try this activity at your home today only. Step 1. Place the torch in the center of the paper with its glass front touching the paper. Second, now draw a circle around the torch. Perforate means that you perforate the paper with the needle within the circled area. Now place the perforate circle part of the paper on the glass front and wrap the paper around the torch with a rubber band. So perforate means you have to make the holes, small holes nearby. So when you will perforate the paper with the needle within the circle which you have placed on the torch, what you have to do, then you have the perforate paper you have to place in front of the glass of the torch and wrap the paper around the torch with a rubber band. So when you will put that perforated paper on the glass of the torch, and then you have to tie a rubber band from the back of the torch. Now at step 5, take care that the switch of the torch is not covered. So you just take care that the switch of the torch should not be covered with the paper. Otherwise, how will you make off and on of the torch? In the dark room, stand at some distance facing a plain wall. Switch off all other lights. So switch off all the other lights. Now Flash the torch light on the wall. You will see numerous dots of light on the wall like stars shines in the night. So what you will do, what you will find when you will switch on the torch, you will see numerous dots of lights on the dark room on the wall, and it just shines like a star. It will just look that the night is there and the stars are shining. Yes, a nice activities for you. Switch on all the lights in the room. All the dots of the light will be almost invisible. And when you will switch on the light of the room, what you will find that all the dots of the light will almost be invisible. This means that at the night you can see the dots, twinkle dots which are looking just like a star, but when you switch on the light and there was a light in a room, the dots were almost invisible. You may now compare the situation with what happened to the bright objects of the night sky after the sun rises in the morning. Now you can compare that what happens to all the objects which are there, which are shining at the night in the sky when the sun rises in the morning. Where they go? So they are in the sky only, but they got invisible. We are not able to see because of the sun's light. Yes, so this is a very good activity which you have to try at your home. How wonderful it is to watch the sky after sunset. So when the night is there, when the sunset is there, how beautiful it looks to watch the sky. You see sometimes only one dot or bright dots is shining. After some time you will see 3-4 dots are shining. After some time it will increase, the numbers will increase, the shining dots will increase in numbers as the night is there. You cannot count them anymore. So many numbers of dots are there which are uncountable. The whole sky is filled with tiny shining objects. Some are bright and others are dim. So some you will see there that those tiny objects are shining very brightly and some are in very dim light. You can see here sky after sunset, only one star you can see, is one shining object you can see here in the sky. As the night is there, you can see lots of shining objects in the night sky. Yes, and it looks so beautiful to watch the sky at night. Yes, it seems as if the sky is stubborn with diamond. So it just looks like that the sky is full of diamonds. Diamonds are there in the sky. They all appear to be twinkling. They twinkle like this. But if you look at them carefully, you will notice that some of them do not twinkle and some of them are twinkling. Some of them, they do not twinkle. They stay like that only. They simply glow without any flicker, just as the moon shines. So you will just look them. Some of them, the objects are twinkling, and some of the objects will stay flicker, blink. They will not blink, and they will just look like a moon, like the moon shines in the sky. Along with these bright objects, you may also see the moon on the most of the days. So when you see the sky in the night, you will see these tiny objects, tiny dots in the sky, and you will also see the moon almost all the days. It may, however, appear that different times in different shapes and in different position. It can happen then when you will see the moon in the sky, on some day it will be of different shape. Another day it will look of different shape. So this can be possible. You can see the full moon only once in about a month's time. So you can see a full moon only once in a month's time. In 1 month you can see only once the full moon, and it is full moon night is known as Purnima. When you will see the full moon in the sky, that day is known as Purnima. A fortnight later, after 15 days, you cannot see it at all. So you cannot see the moon at all after 15th day. It is a new moon night. So we call when we are not able to see the moon in the sky, we call it as a new moon night just after 15 days of Purnima, and that day we call it as a Amavasya, where we are not able to see the moon. On this day you can watch the night sky best. You can see the sky because moon is not there, moonlight is not there, and all the tiny dots objects you can see very clearly, and the night looks very clear. The sky looks very clear. Do you wonder why cannot we see the moon and all those bright tiny objects during day? Do you think you would be thinking that why we cannot see those objects in the morning, in the daytime, which were twinkling at the night? Yes, it is because the very bright light of the sun does not allow us to see all these bright objects of the night which were there at night because of the sun's rays. Yes, now we will talk about celestial bodies. There are celestial bodies present in the sky. The sun, the moon, and all those objects shining in the night sky are called celestial bodies. So what are celestial bodies, students? Celestial bodies are the sun, the moon, and all those objects which we saw at night, which were shining in the night sky. Those all things are called celestial bodies. So what are celestial bodies? The sun, the moon, and all those objects shining in the night sky are called celestial bodies. Some celestial bodies are very big and hot. They are made up of gases. So these all celestial bodies are, some of the celestial bodies are very big and they are very hot because they are made up of gases, and they have their own heat and light which they emit in large quantity or large amount. These celestial bodies are called stars. So all the celestial bodies which are very big and hot, and they also have gases in them, they also have their own heat and light which emits in large amount. These all celestial bodies are called stars. Yes, now you understood what are stars. Stars are celestial bodies only which has their own heat and light. The sun is a star. So the sun is also a star because it has its own heat and light, and it is made up of, it is very hot, yes, and it is very large. So a star, a countless twinkling stars which you see in the night are similar to the sun. But why we are not able to see, why we see them in very tiny dots? Because they are very far away from us. But we do not feel their heat and light. Why? Because they look so tiny, because they are very far from us as compared to the sun. You must have noticed that all objects looking smaller when seen from a distance we look them very small. They look very small. How small an aeroplane looks when it is flying at a great height. So when from the earth, when we see aeroplane flying in the sky, how does it look? It looks very small. But when it comes on the earth and when we are near to the aeroplane, we see how much big it is. Yes. So just like this, the stars are also very far away from us, and that is why they are visible in very small size to us. You can see. Now we will talk about constellation. Constellations. While watching the night sky, you may notice various patterns formed by different groups of stars. These are called constellations. So when we are watching the sky at night, we see different stars are there and different patterns are there. Those all group of stars are known as constellation, which form a different group and different on various types of patterns. You can see here with the help of this picture I am showing you, these are stars. See, they are forming different types of patterns, and when they are forming different type of patterns, these are called constellations. Ursa Major or Big Star is a type of constellation. Yes. So Ursa Major and Big Star, Ursa Major and Big Bear is a form of such constellation. Like here, you can see when you will watch in the sky, the star, they form a bear kind of pattern, which is known as Ursa Major, and these group of stars are known as URSA Major, and this is a constellation of stars. Yes, Saptarishi. This is also a constellation. This is one of the most easily recognizable constellation in the. It is a Saptarishi. Sapt means seven and Rishi means sages. So this Saptarishi constellation is also seen in the night. This is a group of stars. When you will see at night the stars, it will just form a big bear form. Yes, and these big group of seven stars that form a part of Ursa Major constellation are known as Saptarishi. Now you can see, ask someone elder in your family. So you can ask your parents, you can ask your mother or father or grandmother or grandfather to take you to show you this Saptarishi in the sky. You can see it is just like in a form of spoon. You can also see that seven stars are just looking like in the form of spoon, and they make a pattern of spoon, which is known as Saptarishi. Yes, you will enjoy it. In ancient times, people used to determine directions during the night with the help of stars. So they were not knowing directions, north, east, west, south. So how they were, identifying the direction? They were identifying that they were determining the directions during the night with the help of stars. That with the help of stars, they were thinking that where is north, where is south, where is east, where is west. The North Star indicates the north direction. It is also called the pole star. So the North Star is also called the pole star. This North Star is always towards the north, in the north direction. You can see here, this is a pole star and it shines so brightly. It always remains in the same position in the sky. We can locate the position of the pole star with the help of Saptarishi. So where the constellation at the group of stars Saptarishi is there, from there we can locate where is a pole star. And according to the pole star, the people in ancient time were able to were able to identify the position that they are standing on towards the north. They have to go to the west, east or south. Let's see how they were doing. You will notice that if an imaginary line is drawn during the pointer stars and extended further, it will point to the pole star. How it happens? See, this is a Ursa Major. You can see here, these are 7 stars. Count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and it is just looking in a form of spoon. This is a constellation Ursa Major, and in Ursa Major it is a Saptarishi, and in Saptarishi you can see these are the 2 pointer stars. These 2 are the pointer stars, and just towards, if you are standing towards the pointer star, you can see towards the north. If you will look here, you will found the pole star. This pole star is also known as North Star, and it never changes its position. It is always towards the north and it will point to the pole star. So like this, the people in ancient time were able to determine the directions at night. Some celestial bodies do not have their own heat and light. Some of the celestial bodies were having their heat and light and they were very hot and big, but some of the celestial bodies do not have their own heat and light. They take the heat and light from other stars. Such bodies are called planets. So they lit by the light of the stars, and such bodies are called planets. So what are planets, students? Now you understand. All the planets are the celestial bodies which do not have their own heat and light, and they lit by the light of the stars. Such bodies are called planets. Our Earth is also a planet. The word planet comes from the Greek word planetia, which means wanderer. Yes, you can see here sun. These all are the planets. The earth on which we live is a planet. Yes, we all know that earth is a planet. It gets all its heat and light from sun. So from where earth get its heat and light? Earth get its heat and light from sun, which is our nearest star. So you can see here it is sun, and this is a solar system. Here we have earth, and earth gets its heat and light from sun. If we look at the earth from a great distance as the moon, it will appear to be shining just as the moon. So if we are standing on the earth and if we are standing on the moon and from moon we look the earth, it will just look like a moon only. The moon that we see in the sky is a satellite. So what is a moon, students? It is a satellite. Now the question will be arising in your mind, ma'am, if the moon is a satellite, what is a satellite? I will tell you, students, what is a satellite in the another slide. It is a companion of earth and moves around it. So moon always moves around the earth. You can see in this picture how moon is making a round of earth, how it is revolving around the earth. Yes, how it is revolving around the earth. So the moon is a satellite and it is a companion of earth which moves around the earth. Now what is a satellite? See, you can see a satellite is a celestial body that moves around the planets in the same way as the planet moves around the sun. So you can see the satellite is a celestial body, just like the planets revolve around the sun. The same way the satellites also revolve around the planets. Yes, so we can say that earth is a satellite because it orbits the sun. Yes, so earth is also a satellite because it orbits the earth. It revolves around the sun. Likewise, the moon is a satellite because it orbits the earth. It revolves around the earth. So yeah, now you understand what is a satellite. A satellite is a celestial body that moves around the planets in the same way as the planet moves around the sun. Usually, the word satellite refers to a machine that is launched into space and moves around the earth or other bodies in space. So, we have artificial satellites also and we have natural satellites also. So, if we talk about artificial satellites, artificial satellites are a machine that are being launched into space which moves around the earth and other bodies in space. You can see here this satellite is revolving around the earth. And why this satellite is being launched on the earth towards the earth? A human made satellite is an artificial body. As I told you, most artificial satellites orbit earth. And why these satellites are being sent to the earth? It is sent because the scientists want to gather information about the universe, health forecast, weather forecast. They want to know about telephone calls, navigations of ships, aircraft, monitor crops and other resources and support military activities. From there they can see what are the activities which are going on the earth. It is carried by a rocket and placed in the orbit around the earth. Some of the Indian satellites in space are INSAT, URSA, EduSats, etc. So you have to find out the full form of these satellites. Now we will talk about moon. Like our earth, there are 7 other planets that get heat and light from the sun. So as earth is getting heat and light from the sun, we talked in the earlier slides. The same way there are 7 other planets which get their heat and light from the star sun. Yes, sun is a star. Some of them have their moons too. So some of the planets also have their moon too, which revolves round those planets. They have their satellites, yes, which revolves round the planets. So today, students, what we have started chapter number 1 of geography, the earth on the solar system. Yes, and in this we have studied about celestial bodies, we have studied about stars, we have studied about constellations, we have studied about URSA Major, Big Bear, Saptarishi Mandal. So we have studied lot of things about the sky. Yes, about our sky at night. What are the objects which we see at night in the sky. So what you have to do, students, you have to just sit now, take out your geography book and read chapter number 1, page number 1 and 2. Yes, thoroughly. And if you think that anything which is you are not able to understand, just write down in your notebook, rough notebook, and when we will have a online doubt session, at that time you can ask me the question and I will clear your all the doubts. Okay, students. So the homework for today is read geography book page number 1 and 2. Okay. Thanks and have a nice day, students.